So here's the crazy thing about this, because I still put the intro on there unintentionally, intentionally, because I didn't know how we're going to do this. Because granted, yes, this is a hot tag, but at the same time, I know for a fact, even after watching all this bullshit, that I'm gonna have to see the follow up. So I have to continue to watch it to see if my views and my opinions are justified. Because even right now, I'm still kind of like, what the fuck? Mainly because I just I feel like I know what I'm watching, and I feel like I know what I don't like. But at the same time, I need to make sure that it's not coming from a bias as to why I don't like the things that I don't like. And that's the main issue that I'm having right now.
Well, I can 100% tell you from where we watched yesterday. Hold on one second.
For sure.
Okay. Not yesterday. My bad. Tuesday. I can 100% tell you Tuesday what we watched was straight cheeks.
Now,
CHEEKS. That is my word for NXT at the moment. Cheeks. And I don't mean in a good way. Because I don't want to call it trash. I don't want to call it trash. But
okay.
it's cheeks. And that was definitely diet WWE.
Oof. Well, before we get into that, because I know since we're on this whole not sure where we're gonna be with NXT, do we have any scoop?
I mean, the biggest one, if you watched Monday Night Raw, you saw the one Big E cash in the Money in the Bank to become new WWE World Heavyweight Champion. So of course, that happened.
Well, that in itself is a big congrats to Big E for sure.
Yes.
But of course, this whole thing for me, very bittersweet. Only because it feels premature, and I say that based on the preconceived notions that we've had even leading up to even this point. Is that even when he won, we even stated a lot of things tend to make sense in regards to Lashley versus, or rather, the Hurt Business versus New Day, where Lashley was taking out New Day members, and there seemed to be a solid, already built up story for this to occur in this manner. And of course, everybody's talking about the whole idea of it, is it, in response to AEW and, All Out and CM Punk, Adam Cole, Bryan Danielson, all this and that. And of course, the articles and everything came out, the fact that, WWE said that they're, combating the NFL. Be that as it may, it's very hard for me, and I'm only going to speak for myself in this instance, it's hard for me to believe that it's just a response to the NFL, because as a fan of WWE, as somebody who's watched WWE Raw religiously, up until a certain point, of course, but they've always been on Mondays. There has never been, a big show throughout a football season where it's like, oh shit, we got to do this, we got to do this, we got to do this because of NFL. It's never been like that. There have been trash shows on Monday Night Football to combat Monday Night Football on a number of occasions. So that's hard for me to take at face value. Now,
I can 1,000% agree with you on that.
Now, the one of the main problems that I have is that because Big E does desperately deserve this title win, for me, it pisses me off because it muddles him because like he's almost used, you know, in a sense, because there's too many things that's leading up to the fact of being like, okay, well, this is why they did this. This is why I see that they did this as a retaliation. Mainly because one, it was tweeted. You know, there was no surprise that, you know, when's the
Yeah,
last time you seen somebody tweet about, oh, I'm gonna cash in my money in the bank? Never.
that's what at first that's what made me at first think that this was all just Big E trolling.
Mm-hmm.
And then, to actually, because I will say this, those bastards got me because I did watch most of Raw to see if it was going to happen. Like, I think I watched, like, what, an hour and a half, the last hour and a half, roughly.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, one, you bastards got me. So kudos to you getting me to watch Monday Night Raw. But to see that there was an in-ring promo with Big E there, then I was like, oh, maybe he's going to cash in for sure because
Yeah.
they fast-tracked the Randy Orton and Lashley match to Monday instead of at Extreme Rules when it was
Yeah.
initially announced. So that's why I was like, And then the fact that it legit happened and it was like, oh, okay then.
Yeah. And now the reason I'm still gonna be behind Biggie on this sense, and as far as WWE for making a decision to pull the trigger on him having the title, I need to see where they go with this first because
Yes,
one
definitely.
of the main things about it is that it didn't boost the ratings too much, and that's where my fear lies in for Big E because
Mm-hmm.
if they feel like he didn't push the needle, they may fast track that title off of him just as fast as they fast tracked it on him. And
That's good.
so that's what I'm worried about. So it's at the same, it's just like the whole NXT 2.0 thing. It's more of a waiting to kind of see what happens because NXT 2.0 did some fuck shit as well. And we'll get into that for those of you who don't readily understand certain things. But we'll get into that also. But what else we got, Scoot? Unless you got anything else on the Big E front.
No, I mean, I was just happy that it happened, that it wasn't a
Yeah.
wasted cash in or anything. So I was just happy that it happened, and then also kudos to Bobby having a
Mm-hmm.
great title run, a dominant title run. So definitely kudos to Bobby, and hopefully this is not his last title run.
No,
Um,
not at all.
Pete Dunne has officially signed a new 3-year deal.
Mm-hmm.
So that's official. So Pete Dunne is here to stay for a little bit longer. Apparently Johnny Gargano's contract is up in December, I think.
Oh, really? I
Yeah,
thought it was
his
January
contract.
at first, but I guess December also makes sense too.
I think it's December. It
Okay.
might be January. It might be January, but apparently it's word that they're going to start doing negotiations with Johnny. So I think the plan is to try to keep Johnny around. But once again, we'll see.
Yeah. Um.
So that's really all it. Let's go ahead and talk about whatever the hell we watched Tuesday night. Cause who boy, it was once again the key word of the day: cheeks,
um.
and not in a good way.
I did. I went back and forth with the whole set. Because there's a part of me that likes the layout because
Mm-hmm.
it kind of reminds me of what was it? The WCW show that was always on Saturday, like Saturday night. Um,
Uh,
fuck.
uh, why do I want to say superstars, but it wasn't superstars.
No, that was
Uh,
WWF's Saturday. I think either Saturday or
uh,
Sunday show in the morning. Oh wait, was it worldwide? Hold up. I
it was
feel.
some simple ass name.
Hold on. I because it's gonna bug me if I don't.
Yeah.
WCW World. Uh, duh, 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 duh. Okay, so there was there was a WCW Saturday night, but there also
Uh-huh.
so maybe I'm talking about that, but I don't know when. But there was a worldwide though.
Yeah.
There definitely was a worldwide. But it doesn't tell me. Fuck it, it's one of those two. Damn it! But now we know it exists. Either way, um, yeah. But the set was cool. I didn't like how fucking bright it was.
And that's what Ashley kept saying. She kept saying she thought it was too bright.
Yeah, because there's something about the ambiance that the previous iterations of NXT has had, to where
Mm-hmm.
maybe you don't need to see everybody that's in there.
Right.
Let me focus on what's going on in the ring, and I think that's the one thing about like Vince and possibly Kevin Dunn, since he's like the main producer of everything, is the
Mm-hmm.
fact that they want a certain aesthetic, like to basically like they in a way they focus on numbers and they want to show what's going on rather than what the show is all about. And
Mm-hmm.
Triple H and everybody else that worked on his team, focused more on what was going on in the ring. Same thing as, old school WCW. They tended to focus on more of the in-ring stuff, i.e., the very beginning of the show where they got you locked in with the cruiserweights and anybody that was focused on the television title and so on and so forth. You know,
Mm-hmm.
it's it's just a different thing, and I hate that the way that this whole show started just felt like after the promos, the promos for the main for what should have been the main event is I was like, all right, cool, because that's how it started with
Mm-hmm.
Ciampa, Dunn, O'Reilly, Knight all having their own promos, and I was like, cool.
Yeah.
And then you get Braun Breaker, who interrupts LA Knight, which stupid fucking name.
The whole time I could not get over that name. Like, sorry, excuse me. Yeah, because that's how
No,
I
you
felt
good.
watching NXT. Sorry, guys. Um, I, so this is the weird thing about Braun Breaker here.
Mhm.
What was wrong with him being a Steiner?
Nothing. And I just found out today that it was reported that commentary was told not to talk or reference anything about his lineage,
Mm,
which is crazy because but I also start having my whole conspiracy theorist hat on, but I've been having that on since fucking Monday. But
mm-hmm.
my thing is, what I think they're going to do is I think they're going to have him, be Braun Breaker throughout this whole NXT run. Then the moment that they move him to the main roster, then they're going to
Steiner.
start talking about him being a Steiner, and so that he may end up going by Rex Steiner, which is a better fucking name than fucking Braun Breaker. But
Mm-hmm.
yeah, yeah. Why and why they put him in a match with LA Knight in the very beginning? I don't
Yeah,
know.
that was the other weird thing. It was like I was like when I watched all that, I was like, I didn't think that was gonna lead to a match.
Yeah,
Like I thought it was just Braun introducing himself type of thing, but not the fact that it led to a match. And it was like LA Knight has a fatal 4-way championship match later on. Why is this happening?
yeah, yeah.
But
And
hey, I mean, I
and they
don't
gave
get
him the
booking.
win
And then he won. Just
clean.
made it even more. The fact that he won.
And that in itself is, I mean, of course, to me that was like a key, like first like arrowhead moment right there. I was like, yep, this is the direction they're going. This is what they're trying to do. They're gonna make sure that they sweep everything under the rug until everything is pretty much done, and they got all the big guys that Vince wants front and center. Because clearly, after the way that this show ended, it's clear that Braun Breaker is going to be Vince's number one guy that he
Oh
wants
yeah.
to
Oh,
lead the charge.
absolutely.
And
absolutely.
now, then we get Imperium versus was it Josh Briggs?
Josh
Josh Briggs
Briggs
and
hold on, I can tell you what his name is.
I know
But
it's the son of Bull Buchanan, which again they didn't say anything about that, but you
oh,
know
see, I
what
didn't know that. I didn't know that was the son of Bull.
Mm-hmm. And see that, and I didn't even bother putting shit on the fucking thing because I
You don't
I
have
didn't even
to.
think it was gonna go um match for match, but it just ended up happening like that. So what the fuck ever. But
His name is hold on.
Brooks Jensen,
Yes. Thank you.
yeah. And I was worried for Imperium because I didn't know if they were gonna pull something and have Josh Briggs and Brooks Jensen win this fucking match over Imperium. Because I'm like,
Right?
yo, you just got this makeshift tag team that won again. Josh Briggs can't fucking talk, and
No.
that's a
Cool.
going trend with a lot of people that they're trying to push on this fucking show. That have issues with fucking promos, but yeah, Brooks Jensen still very green. Josh Briggs has
Mm-hmm.
been, having a few matches here and there, so he doesn't look entirely bad. But against Imperium, everything's going to show, and
Mm-hmm. They're
it did.
such professionals.
Mm-hmm. And if you can't keep up with them, then you go. Well, I mean that's not to say a bad thing against them, but I mean if
Nah,
you can't keep up with them, it's going to show.
it
That's the
is.
point I'm trying to make. Um. So yeah, Imperium won, and I'm happy about that because they're not squashing everybody.
Yeah.
But then we get a bittersweet deal with B Fab and Katrina Cortez.
Yeah.
Now of course the beginning promo when Hit Row was beefing up B Fab, good. You can't you
Nah.
can't you can't go wrong with Hit Row. Any one of their promos, any one of their segments, vignettes, whatever, fire
Yeah.
all the time. But this match, and it's funny because as I was watching and I was looking at Katrina Cortez, and I was like, oh, this may not go as well as I think it may go. And sure enough, it did not. And it's mainly because I feel like there was no chemistry.
I honestly think that's what it was. I think they chose the wrong opponent for BFAB.
Yeah.
Especially
And
with
I don't
Katrina being such a luchador and all of that.
mhm. Now
They
have because I don't
chose
think
the
I've
wrong
seen her
opponent.
before either.
Yeah, you have. She helped out who was it? Was it Kalisto? No.
Oh, that's her?
Was it
Huh.
Kalisto? When
That's the only
Andrade was
person
beefing with it.
yeah, that's the only person I can think of. But yeah, I
Yeah.
didn't realize that was her. And there was a part of me that was like, "Yo, is that?" But I was like, "Nah, she looked
Yeah,
completely
that was her.
different."
They just changed her name because it was originally Catalina something.
Gotcha. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. No. Yeah, definitely. There's definitely zero chemistry, and I and I don't want and see this is gonna sound bad, but it's like you let a lot of people go, and Mercedes Martinez was one of those people. But Mercedes Martinez was a good will to have because she's also very good enhancement talent. And
Mm-hmm.
that would have been somebody that you could have put in the ring with B Fab to help put her over.
Yes, because they would have been. She's a good enhancer. You're right.
Mm-hmm. So it's like you keep this person, but then you let this other person go. So it's like nothing against Katrina Cortez, but as far as this role, not so much.
Yeah.
But yeah, the BFAB went over with was it that Netbreaker?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so
I
it was
remember the first
it
thing
was
I said
something.
was, I remember the first thing I said was, "Huh, is that really gonna be her finisher?"
because it's almost like a rude awakening
Yeah.
in a way. So, and I don't know because I feel like if she has an opponent that's a lot shorter than her, it's not gonna
It's
come
gonna
off
look
as
awkward.
well. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So, but her going against Elektra Lopez may actually work in this sense, which
Yes.
is what I'm hoping for. Um, who then, of course, came out with Legado del Fantasma after the match was over with,
Mm-hmm.
and they traded barbs back and forth for a bit, and then it I believe what Elektra was held back by Santos.
Santos. Yeah.
Yeah, so that that's pretty much where that kind of ended. So they're still holding this off. I don't know if they're still going to do like the whole 8-man intergender tag match. I don't know if I
I
want
see
to see
it.
that.
I don't know if I want to either, but I feel like it's going to happen. At some
Mm,
point, all of Hit Row has to be in a match.
yeah, which that would be weird if they try to book that shit for like War Games.
Mm, I
And
would hope not.
yeah, me
Like that's
neither.
gonna be a
Yeah, me
long
too.
ass feud.
Because even at that, and thinking about it from this perspective, it's hard thinking about the whole entrance portion of that because
Mm-hmm.
then you're gonna have to have the women come out last.
Yeah, you're gonna have to.
So yeah, I wouldn't go with that. But then we get one of probably the worst promo and segment of the night for me.
Uh-huh.
Carmelo Hayes and Trick Williams having their little promo segment,
Yo,
which
I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna lie. The whole time, Ashley and I was sitting here watching this, and we was just like, "What is happening?" Because the first things first was, who is this dude that's now randomly with Carmelo? Then they get to talking, and it seemed like the promo stopped and started a few times.
yes, thank you.
It was like, wait, was it supposed to end there? And y'all just kept going. And then, of course, Trick Williams, my man, started saying he's bout it. And it was like, sir, really? Like, what year we in? Okay, okay.
Bam! We are sadly in the
Somebody
year
who's bout it, bout it.
2021.
Speaking of somebody who's bout it,
Oh,
uh,
Jaeger Bombastic.
yeah.
My man started saying bout it, and he kept saying it. Like,
mm,
like, okay.
Wait, who about it?
That whole Trick Williams and Carmelo Hayes promo.
Oh, that. Yeah. That
yeah.
was a
Then the funny thing is that Trick went on to say because when Carmelo shoots, he doesn't miss, and then he paused, and I was like, oh, this dude forgot what he's supposed to say. And then he said, when Carmelo shoots, he doesn't miss. And then he paused for like a split second again and then kept going. He's like, but I got a bone to pick with you. I'm like,
Yeah.
man. Those under 30s are looking great, right, guys?
see, look, and you know what? And I'm glad you said that, Jaeger, because this, and not even for from the age perspective, but it's the fact that yeah, we all know that NXT was supposed to be developmental. It was all spoken. It was all perceived that way by everybody. But
Mm-hmm.
the problem is
Mm-hmm.
now that with this NXT 2.0, you can see that it's truly a developmental thing.
Yes, you can.
And that's the
Yes, you
problem.
can.
And it's crazy because I mean, I don't want to say this by design because they're putting money behind the situation. I mean, if they didn't believe in the whole idea of it, if it wasn't Vince trying to mold everybody that comes in into his way, then I would have, they would have made it look like OVW or something.
Mm-hmm.
Wasn't NXT 1.0 just the exact same thing, but for independent wrestlers that already had a name?
Well, after it was the TV show, little competition thing.
Yeah.
Trips pretty much made it in his image, and he saw potential in it. So it's like, okay, you know what? Let me see if I can bring these guys in, because I can tell that what he wanted to do was to bring guys in that people already were familiar with within the indies to get new eyes on WWE, which makes sense because
which when you brought up that point, I did say to Ashley at some point, shouldn't this be 3.0?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, oh yeah, you're absolutely right. It should.
This should be 3.0, not 2.0.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
But I guess we're just forgetting about that whole
game show.
Well, that's that whole Vince and his Four Horsemen's mentality. You've seen something prior to all of this, yet they try to make it seem as though none of that shit ever existed.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So in their mind, the first iteration of NXT to them was the fucking competition show.
Mm-hmm.
It's almost like how they rebooted Halloween and went from Halloween 1 to, was it 2018?
The
new one? Yeah.
Yeah, but then they brought back.
Happened.
Yeah, but then they brought back Judi Dench.
Yeah, but it's.
Was it? No, I'm sorry, not Judi Dench. What the fuck? You know what I'm talking about.
Mm-hmm.
Jamie Lee Curtis.
Thank you.
Yeah, but that's the thing, is that they made it seem as though none of the other movies existed, which is what Vince and his Four Horsemen are doing with this NXT.
Mm-hmm.
And so with that, of course, they're doing that slow burn. They're because everybody knows what the agenda is. But instead of being like, you know what, hey, we're gonna show you that we got you, they decide to do some fuck shit along the way.
Fuck shit ain't even a word.
It may not be not strong enough for this situation, but it still feels like, again, it's off the rails and not without any direction. And case in point with Carmelo Hayes, after this whole situation, I don't know if he's a heel or a face, because even after the whole debacle of their promo, they left the ring. Duke Hudson comes out, looks at them. Carmelo lets him go. Then Trick's like, no, this is what I'm talking about. We got to stop being humble. Got to stop people doing that. They go in, and they're supposed to be faces, and they jump a hill.
Well, you predicted this, a.k.a. Prince of Predictions. You predicted that Carmelo was going to steer in this route. Because you said, remember doing his promo with Odyssey Jones, that you said that it sounded heelish. So
true
you
enough.
predicted it then that he was going to go in this route.
Now, granted, I assumed he was going to do that shit during their match. Yeah. True.
Mm-hmm.
I just think they missed the mark when they were supposed to do it.
He did it during a blase promo.
Yeah, basically.
Sure. I agree. I can agree with that.
And
you said it.
And then we go to a fucking backstage segment with Gigi Dolan and JC Jane talking to Mandy Rose, saying that, oh, this is a good look for you, this here, blah blah blah, change, all this other bullshit. And then we get a tag team rematch between.
Okay, hold on a second. This is where I am. Like, if no other thing throughout NXT, felt like a Vince McMahon production, it was this match. Because we got NXT Night Raw in a match, essentially.
Well, yeah, because there were definitely a lot of tells. I mean, one, we get a rematch that we had recently seen within the past 2 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
So that was one time because I mean, granted, if Trips does a rematch on NXT, there's a reason for it. There was no rhyme or reason as to why these two were still facing each other again, because there was a clear and decisive winner within the previous match. So there wasn't a reason to have a rematch in this instance. So that's one. Then two, you get Mandy Rose coming out, and they're making it seem like she's had this whole complete work done, and she just changed her fucking hair color.
Which, I mean, I'll say looks good, but at the same time, like, the fuck?
Yeah, and then you get Saray comes out, and she comes to help, and then you get the cliche, all right, here we go. We're going to have them talk back and forth and then go to a commercial break to have dun, 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 a 6-woman tag match.
No, you see, and that was the most Monday Night Raw thing that I felt about it.
Exactly. And it goes to show, yeah, Kevin Dunn was definitely behind the scenes on this one.
Yeah.
So it all definitely made complete sense. So then, yeah. And then, of course, we get Carter, Catanzaro, and well, they won by DQ. They won by DQ because I forgot what happened.
No. Carter and Catanzaro.
No, didn't
Rose
Carter pin?
Yeah. In the 6-woman match, Rose got the pin on a distracted Hayden Carter because of
because they got win by the DQ when Rose jumped in. Yeah, you're right. Right. See, shows how much I just didn't give a shit. But
no. I watched the Hulu version of this, which was even like more what the fucky. Like, because I didn't even get the Carmelo Hayes match, amongst others.
It wasn't a match. It was just a promo.
No, excuse me. The Carmelo Hayes promo. I don't even think I saw what happened to Kyle O'Reilly.
It was actually during this match. They did, which is why it was you could have easily missed it. So he got jumped by Ridge Holland and Pete Dunne in the locker room, and got saved by who we now know as Von Wagner. Stupid fucking name. Which it was like, all right, who the fuck is this that's saving? Whatever. Cool. They're just trying to put new people in it, for whatever reason.
Can you even call that a save? Like,
no, because I'm pretty sure they got the job done. Hell, I can barely call it a beatdown.
Right.
So, because I'm looking at it like
that took O'Reilly out.
Yeah, and that's why I'm like, yo, why is this something that took O'Reilly out of the fucking match? Because I'm pretty sure there have been instances where people have gotten beat down far worse and then still made it to a match where they limped, hobbled, crawled, whatever to the match and still either competed and lost or competed and possibly fucking won.
Mick Foley got thrown off of a sail.
And left on a stretcher and then came back to get thrown through the cell.
It still continued the match.
So,
okay, wait. I don't know if y'all mentioned it, but how did y'all feel about Mandy Rose's new look?
What new look?
She's brunette now, so
yeah, I know. I know.
New look.
I mean, Mandy Rose is still Mandy Rose, though. But at the same time,
yeah.
I was halfway expecting her to be bald, or like have some kind of a shorter haircut.
I said the same thing.
I thought so too.
I said the same thing. I thought she was gonna be bald. The way they was making it seem.
I would have preferred it. I would have preferred it that way too, because in the me, I would have been like, okay, this is different. This is different. Let's see where this goes.
Go full Brittany. You do you.
But you know, hey.
I mean, can we still make Brittany jokes now? She all free and shit.
Oh, Jaeger, since you wasn't here at the beginning, my word for NXT at the moment is cheeks.
Cheeks?
The NXT was straight cheeks. And
Cheeks
I don't mean
2.0.
it in a good way.
No, definitely not.
I don't want to call it trash. Cheeks. Huh?
I would have said cheesy.
At some points,
no, cheesy is too good for this.
Yeah. It just there's a lot of it that just felt like, why is this? There we go. That's what it. Why is this happening? Why is this happening?
Mm-hmm.
There we go.
Because Vince is trying to blame.
Since you watched it on Hulu, you did get the LA Knight and Braun Breaker match, right?
Yeah.
You did get Imperium versus.
I did not get Imperium.
Josh Briggs and Brooke Jensen.
I did not get that.
Okay.
Let's see. I went from. I think it was the whole 4 people doing their little promo for the Fatal 4-Way. Then it was LA Knight and his match. Then it was the tag match for Gigi Dolan and Mandy Rose and Casey Catanzaro and Kaden Carter. And then it went to the Johnny Gargano thing.
Oh, so you didn't even get B-Fab versus Katrina, what was her name?
No, Hulu was nice enough to not give me B-Fab's debut match. No.
Wow. Okay.
And since I recently re-upped my subscription to Sling, we had decided to get rid of the recording of NXT for this week.
No, they knew it was going to be trash.
Probably.
Or cheeks.
We got cheeks.
Yeah, I don't want to call it
trash. It wasn't full on trash yet. I'll say yet.
Now, of course, we continue to get.
But it was typical WWE, where it started off as a tag match, and it ended as a six woman tag, and it was like, all right, fam.
That's straight up.
That was WWE written all over that.
Yes. Oh yeah, that's exactly what we said. Is that it's straight WWE, and you can tell where Vince had his finger on it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and of course we go from there, and we get Rich Holland versus Drake Maverick, which of course, guess who wins? Rich Holland, because again he has the Vince type look, so of course he's going to be somebody that Vince caters to. Which I'm pretty sure
before that match, Regal told Von Wagner that he would be replacing Kyle O'Reilly.
Which was the stupidest fucking thing, because it's like, okay, yeah, Kyle O'Reilly won't be eligible to compete. Okay, fine and dandy. You want to be part of it? Cool. Why not Johnny Gargano? You know, he was somebody who was
in a wedding later on.
No, don't give a shit. Hell, Damian Priest was there. You know, could have had him come in there.
What I thought was going to happen, I thought whatchamacallit was going to cash in his contract. I thought Carmelo Hayes
Big E? Carmelo Hayes, yeah. So I'm like Big E because he had just won, obviously. Stupid.
I thought Carmelo Hayes was going to be like, hey, put me in the title match.
Loki,
that would have made more sense because of the whole. Because see, I would have forgiven that whole promo debacle when they're with the whole about it and jumping on Duke Hudson. If they would have said, you know what, okay, I'm done being humble. I'm cashing in my ticket right here. I want to be put in this match. fine. But to put a no-name on his debut match just because he was a good Samaritan and helped somebody backstage, oh, I'm going to reward you by taking the spot of somebody that you helped. None of that makes any fucking sense. And it's a slap in the face to all the other talent on that fucking roster who sat there and put hard work in. You're telling me that there's nobody else on that fucking roster who can sit there and say, you know what? Okay, you deserve this spot. You've been here. You deserve this spot. You've been here. You deserve. Hell, you know what?
I damn near thought Von Wagner, which it's hard for me to say, man, because it keeps sounding like a porn star name. But I damn near thought Von Wagner was going to win because of his random ass insertion.
Yeah, I almost did too. I almost did too, but yeah, but that he gets inserted to that fucking match, no merit, no fucking reason, nothing. He just there you go. That's that in itself again is some main roster bullshit right there. But we go from there to some other shit I don't give a shit about. The coal mine, the Creed brothers.
Congratulations! Congratulations on Ivy now joining the Diamond Mine, but we can keep going.
Cool, because
no. These guys still look generic as fuck. It's been a week. Give them some Diamond Mine logos. Put it like right on their chest or their singlets.
Something. Oh, well, we are going to get Kushida and Strong next week.
Yes, we are.
Hulu was nice enough to give me this, so I saw that.
But before we move on, Bivens forever. All right, go ahead.
Also, I know Scoot wasn't happy because they cut Raquel's match against Frankie Monet.
Apparently, there was reasons behind it, and I'm glad. It's fine.
You know what? I hope if it's injury related, I hope everyone's okay.
Apparently, they were saying that it was something weird in the air, that it just didn't feel right, so they went ahead and cut it.
You're right. There is something weird in the air. The fact that we still have yet to hear about Samoa Joe's injury that he supposedly has.
Commentary post did like a 2-second thing on it. They said he withdrew or he resigned as champion or something of that effect. They didn't even say that he was injured.
Yeah, it's very apparent. Here's the thing. Joe was champ for what, 3 weeks? 3 weeks. Joe was champ. Didn't have a match. At NXT here and there, no issues, nothing leading up to it. There was nothing on the dirt sheets that even stated that Joe had an injury. Nothing. And we know how many fucking leagues WWE has. So if nothing got out, that means shit ain't true. Then, because let's take into account Tommaso Ciampa, Aleister Black, who else? Fucking Karrion Kross. All of these people, when they had injuries and they had to vacate their titles, we knew about the injuries.
Oh yeah.
Joe, for 3 weeks, nothing about an injury. Then on a fucking I don't know if it was Instagram or if it was a Twitter vid. Probably Instagram. Okay. Comes up and says I have to relinquish the title. Conveniently, 2 days before NXT. Before the new NXT aired.
It was way too convenient.
Yeah. And yet still nothing. No vignette on Joe on NXT. Nothing about him being champion previously. Nothing about him having to truly vacate. Because I mean, Joe he wasn't even on the fucking show.
How much would it bet we don't see Joe on NXT again?
And the thing is, anytime for the most part, a champion had to relinquish a title, they've gone on the show and given the title to Regal.
Mm-hmm.
So, and Joe's perfectly fine to walk. He was able to make a video. He's not showing any injuries. So what prevented him from actually going to the show and presenting that title to Regal? Nothing. Not one thing. So again, until something comes out that's tangible, I'm not believing it. My conspiracy theorist hat is going to stay the fuck on.
Same fucking here.
So
No, I said
now,
it before. I mean, not to say that I said it before you, man, but when Scoot shared that info to us, I was immediately like, no, that's
yeah,
some
no,
bullshit.
absolutely. And then of course to continue with the bullshit, especially pulling the okie doke, or at least trying to, this match in itself, especially with the outcome, is one of the reasons why.
Oh, our main event?
Well, yeah, the in-ring
Our
main
main
event, rather.
wrestling event? Yeah.
Yeah.
Wait, we're cutting over the little nice wedding things, man. Like,
I mean, I mean, we're not cutting it down. I mean, it's still what it was. It's cool and all, but you know,
we saw somebody return. We saw somebody from the main roster come back.
yeah. And I mean, and we'll because we're going to talk about that as a whole.
Oh, okay. All right.
But yeah, just to fast track this whole match, Tommaso Ciampa surprisingly won the title. I
was surprised.
I would have put money on LA Knight winning the title, of course, because he seems to be the most credible, the one person that's being there, the one person being there long enough to usher in the new era of NXT, because he does look somebody who belongs on the main roster, which, by the way, I feel like this may be him potentially possibly going to the main roster. Maybe. Because I don't know what else you would do with him unless you're going to feud him with Ciampa for that title. But that's not going to happen, judging by how the show ended. But we'll get to that as well. But yeah, I feel that this is more of a shoe-in to put the title on Ciampa, because it's, hey, again, you know what we're going to do, but we don't want to outright just say, hey, we're trying to fuck everybody that loves the previous, the Triple H NXT. So we want to go ahead and give you what you want so we can watch you
We can see
cry
your faces
when we use one of our pre-made guys to take out one of your established guys. And to me, that in itself is going to be a big fuck you when it happens, because it's going to be some bullshit.
I
And
agree.
and I hate that, because I feel like Ciampa deserves so much better. Now, they could prove me wrong. They could definitely prove me wrong, and they can make this a credible run for him and send him off nicely. But I honestly, judging by everything that I've seen from this past weekend up to this point now, I don't trust anything under the WWE umbrella as far as
You can throw
creative.
it.
So yeah, I'd rather see what the fuck happens.
It's
And
gonna be hard to trust anything they got.
Yeah, absolutely.
100%.
Now, of course, throughout the course of the show, they did talk about, we had segments in regards to, the index wedding. We had the whole weird shit with Damian Priest showing up, and
Well, he was there to get lit. Apparently, all he did
was. He was, but they talked about the whole open bar thing threw me off, because it's like Cameron Grimes just literally pulled off 2 champagne glasses and handed it to him like, yeah, open bar all night, and then we never saw Priest again.
he went to the bar.
But yeah, it was what it was. Austin Theory came back, which I was happy. Of course, for Scoot,
I don't know what's going on with my technology today, y'all.
it's the NXT 2.0 shit.
Apparently,
Watch, it's gonna be
doesn't.
perfect when we talk about AEW.
Yeah,
right?
you're right. It would be funny if it didn't. It would be fucking hilarious. But yeah, so we get the index wedding. We get a whole bunch of shenanigans. This was probably the biggest wedding I've seen on wrestling TV because we actually had people attending the fucking wedding as far as the
Yeah.
roster goes. So it was definitely set up the way that it was, but which I'm pretty sure it was made. It was more so meant for that whole bit where Loomis had opened his jacket to show his hatchet.
What the fuck was that about?
Yeah, I don't know why anybody would have object, because I mean everybody was all happy for them, so it just that whole thing didn't make sense, but whatever.
I mean, it felt like that whole "So I Married an Axe Murderer" vibes.
Basically,
that's a throwback movie for you youngins out there.
Now, of course, the main thing outside of Dex and Indy, officially getting kayfabe married, Loomis spoke.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Loomis said, "I do." Now, I don't know how I'm supposed to feel because with the whole NXT 2.0, like, is Loomis going to go on like the whole Kane thing and start talking more because this whole new iteration? Because if you're getting new eyes to this and this is supposed to be a new era, nobody's invested in Dexter not speaking unless like you have dedicated fans that are truly going to follow this, which of course, judging by the landscape, there's a lot of fans of the previous NXT who doesn't give a shit about NXT 2.0.
Yeah. I was
So
surprised they got, well, shout out to them for having a bigger performance center, but at the same time, I was surprised they got that many people in that little performance center.
now I was under the impression that there were a lot of plants there because the way that they were reacting to a lot of things, it seemed so orchestrated. But then I found out that what it was that the timekeeper was basically telling people what to chant at certain times. So I got my answer as to why that shit was off to me. Because I was just like, none of this, like, it just, most of this sounds. Now, later on during the show, it felt more organic. But during the beginning of it, it was like, all right, what the fuck is going on?
You had two people behind the announce team just dancing with the song for the new theme song for NXT, and like that gave me plant vibes. Like as soon as I saw that, I was like, are they telling people to like dance, or like are they getting like just groove with the music for a second? Like I don't. It felt
like,
awkward.
Feel good listening to this Wale song.
Yeah,
because he likes wrestling too. It's basically what it was. Which shout out to Wale. I mean, I wish you would have. I wish you wouldn't have done it, but I mean, I get it, man. WWE is doing a lot of good for you, but I know you're a wrestling fan. Wale.
We're gonna see Wale at NXT now.
We need to see Wale at AEW instead of seeing him on SmackDown.
I agree.
But I get it. I understand, man. But regardless, Index, kayfabe married, Dexter spoke. That was pretty much that. No real shenanigans in this.
I was heavily expecting shenanigans.
Yeah. I didn't know what to expect, but
especially from
Austin Theory. Yeah. Which was Scoot was calling that. He was calling that as well, but I was surprised once we seen Austin come in the very beginning. I was like, oh, well, I guess we're not getting any shit with Austin. But, yeah. And then we get the end spot where Tommaso and fucking Braun Breaker have a nice gentlemanly face off, and then the stare down at the title from Braun, and then Tommaso noticing that, and then we basically getting now our future feud, or rather a premonition of who's going to be taking the title off of Ciampa.
This man won one match one match, and he already thinking that he already champion material.
Well,
One
shit. I
match.
mean, if he looked at Von Wagner getting into a championship match just by helping
True.
somebody out, then I know that he probably was like, well, I beat somebody that was in that match, so I know I'm a shoe-in.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna give this one more watch as far as next week to see how I feel, because going back over this, I'm like, yeah, this shit was fucking trash. But I have to take my bias out, watch it one more time to solidify the fact that, okay, yeah, this definitely was what I thought I saw.
I need to watch a full NXT because I at least need to get the full trash if I'm going to call it trash.
Yeah, because I think we're gonna end up losing the women's division that we know so well, because it's starting to feel like that.
6 women tag matches. That's all we're going to get.
So, yeah, but I know I probably don't need to ask this, but do we have any final thoughts on this, whatever the fuck this is going to be for NXT?
Scoot?
Cheeks.
Peaks. I'm going to second that.
You know what? I'll third that.
Well, yeah, cheeks.
Full on
Well,
cheeks. Because I'm gonna give it the rest of this month, which is what, 2 more episodes, and we'll see come October.
well, I'm giving it one more. Depending on how that go, I may give it another one, but I'm very much doubting it. Very much doubting how my investment is going to be if it continues on in this route. But we'll see. Vince, do right by NXT. But I know that's probably talking to a fucking wall. Whatever. Cheeks.
You're going to make
Cheeks.
developmental. Absolutely developmental.
Oh, they
It
definitely
looked
did that.
and felt developmental.
Yeah. Give me back my NXT.
Because then the people who were established stars felt just so head and shoulders above everybody else. Like, honestly, Gargano, Ciampa, LA Knight, Pete Dunne, Kyle O'Reilly, they don't make sense to even be there anymore.
Yeah, no. Which is sad. Because they're about to make this a big man's game.
Oh, sorry. I know we're at the end here, but what did we think about this Chicago mobster dude?
Oh God, I totally forgot about that.
Tony D'Angelo?
Yeah.
I groaned that whole promo. I was like, oh no.
Felt like he was a remnant from Full-Blooded Italians.
Yes.
Like he should have left with Nunzio.
I was just sitting there like, oh no, they doing this.
So which again,
my family's in waste management. I was like, oh, okay.
I mean, look, kudos to try to showcase a new star. I'll always be behind something like that. But the type of superstar that you're pushing is, again, classic Vince McMahon, over the top, stereotypical heel.
Yep.
And almost guaranteed he gets that old Italian gangster movie music.
Oh, you know he is. You know he is.
Oh, and especially with the timing of this new Sopranos prequel series that's supposedly coming out soon.
You know he's about to get it.
I don't know. I'm at a loss for words. So, you know what? Fuck you, Vince.